Welcome back to Murrayshall in Perth for the conclusion of the Trilby Tour Championship of Scotland, event number 7 of this season. 4 men, 3 holes, and as ever, only one winner. It's playoff time. First to the tee was 10 handicapper Jacques Kayser, the man who scored 43 points in regulation. Not a big fan of the driver, Jacques went with the iron and started his playoff in play, but he would need a second shot to get sight of the green. Left-hander Andy Jones was looking to shake the ball down the hill and into pole position for a crack at a very tricky target, a green protected by trees and water. A beautiful swing resulted in a beautiful tee shot and a fantastic outcome.
On the tee.
It was Scotland the Brave, aka Trevor Taylor, to the tee next, the only Scotsman left in the competition. Needless to say, with plenty of support from the gallery, and it has to be said, it was a tee shot that had a hint of Braveheart about it. The Gleneagles player was safely away and in the hunt. Colin Brown was into this playoff via a cracking tee shot in the shootout. The Irishman, based at Montefieth near Dundee, also found position A on the fairway and left himself with a shot at the green. But what a shot. Trees left and right, nothing pleasant over the back, and a playoff ruining horseshoe of water to the front. Colin with first crack at the target. A lovely languid swing followed by a less calm utterance of go, straight at the stick, but an early bath for Colin. Andy Jones had given himself the perfect opportunity after his tee shot, but he also confirmed his concerns, this time with a shake of the head. Short, but not in the water. And so to Trevor Taylor. Absolute silence descended for the Scotsman as an early opportunity presented itself. An opportunity grasped with both hands. Was he already on the way to this title? Now remember, Jacques Kayser birdied 2 and parred 1 of the playoff holes earlier in the day. The Trilby Tour playoff, though, does strange things to a man. A touch too much adrenaline in those Kayser forearms helped the ball sail way past the target and into trouble. For Colin Brown, a drop, but he took his medicine and came back strong. Brown was not out of it just yet.
Come back.
Andy Jones escaped the dreaded medicine scenario with his approach. Helped himself to a big spoonful with his chip. Still no water though. And he followed it up with a delicately fashioned shot, which left Andy the chance to minimise the damage at least. Kayser recovered well to join Jones and Brown in putting range. Jacques and Andy got their putts to disappear, but Collins stayed up and shots were dropped. The Trilby Tour playoff was once again proving a very disconcerting place to be. Colin Brown 2 over after 1. Andy Jones kicking himself after that scuffed chip, 1 over. And Jacques Kayser sharing second with Andy, also on 1 over, and left to ponder where the accuracy that gave him those 43 points in regulation had gone to. Trevor Taylor found himself in an unprecedented Trilby Tour playoff situation of having this putt for a 2-shot lead after just 1 hole, a chance that was surely too good to pass up. Was it? Trevor became the latest in a long line of predecessors for whom the pain of a Trilby Tour playoff just got very real indeed. He recovered his now dented composure to tap in for par and began the long, hard scrap with the golfing demons in the space between his ears and just under his Trilby. But he was still playoff leader heading to the next tee.
On the tee, Trevor Taylor.
Playoff hole 2 is bullet from a gun time, straight down the tree line barrel and out onto the target of a right to left sloping fairway. Trevor had clearly given the Demons a good kicking.
On the tee, that's Kaiser.
Jacques Kaiser needed to be tidy from the tee. His radar was seriously affected by the happenings on hole 1, and he went right into the light rough and yet more trouble. Andy Jones gripped it and absolutely ripped it with his trademark Mr. Mickelson impression. He flew to position A on the fairway.
On the tee, Colin Brown.
Back to the tee, and Colin Brown needed a miracle, and he started well enough. All seemed to be calm for Brown, and at least his playoff wasn't over yet. That's probably not what Jacques Kaiser felt, though. It took him another 2 shots to get to here, and this surely had to drop to give him any hope. It didn't, and another 2 shots were dropped, dumping Jacques back to 4th place and 3 over. Colin Brown set about the business of clawing back the 2 shots already dropped, but as clawing back attempts go, it wasn't his best. At least for Colin, it meant no further damage was done. 2 putts from the fringe in the end meant a par for Colin, and 2nd place overall on 2 over par. For Andy Jones, this is a shot he won't want to see again. The frustration for the chasing 3 was building. But if at first you don't succeed, try again. And he did, this time with far more success. Leaving that one for a share of 2nd. Close, but no cigar. Which meant this was for 3rd. Earlier mishaps, though, had clouded Andy's normally crystal clear golf judgment. 2 more shots dropped, left him firmly rooted to bottom spot with Jacques Kaiser on 3 over. For Trevor Taylor, the door had creaked open once again. It looked like a good shot, but sand was all he could manage with the approach. And what was worse, it was badly plugged, which made this next shot crucial. The reaction told you everything you needed to know, leaving Trevor Taylor with this for a par and a 2-shot lead. It wasn't to be in the end. Trevor Taylor taking away a single-shot lead over Colin Brown into the final playoff hole. But not so many golfing demons to contend with this time. Apart from one, though, that was whispering, "You can win this, Trevor."